Hi guys, thank you very much for joining me. I'm very excited to have you here today because I'm going to share with you my favourite lick, and that is because this lick really breaks you out of the Pentatonic box, and it's just by adding in a couple of extra notes to give it a new feel. Alright, so we're going to be using two chords today. We're going to be using a B minor and a D. Alright, and I hope this gives you some different ideas on how to play chords and connect chords further up the neck. And I'm going to show you how you can adapt this and change it to use it with any chords that you like. Alright, because we're going to be using little triad shapes, right? So for our B minor, we're going to be using just the bottom three notes on the 7th fret. And for our D shape, we're going to be using this little shape here. On the 12th, 11th and 10th fret, alright? So my index finger on 10 on the B, my middle finger on 11 on the G, and my third finger on 12 on the D string, alright? So they're my two shapes that I'm using, my B minor and my D. And we're going to use a lick using the minor scale, and we're going to connect those two chords together, which is again really cool because you can move this around the neck and use it for any two major and minor chords. Okay, so the first part of the lick goes like this. Alright, so what I'm doing first is I'm getting that root on the 9th fret of the D, that's the B note, and then I'm going right in to this triad shape. And then what I'm doing here is I'm using, in my mind I've got shape 1 of the pentatonic scale. Okay, now to add in the extra notes that come from the natural minor scale, we have these extra notes, alright? So rather than go 8 or 10, 7, sorry, I would go 10, 9, 7, 10, 8, 7. And just by adding in those notes to the pentatonic scale, you've got basically the minor scale. But I like to teach the pentatonic first and then add in these little notes that because then it becomes less complicated. And, you know, visually, it starts to become a little bit easier when you realise you just need to add in a note here and there. Alright, so that's the start of the lick. And then 9, 7. 10, 9, 7, 10, 8, 7, 9, 7. So and what I kind of like to do there as well, it's a little bit of a more complex technique. Well, it's just a little bit difficult to start with, is I rake into that note. And I do that by barring, or really covering the strings here with my first finger, and then getting the note on the 10th. Just gives it a little bit more extra feel. Okay, so I'm going to do it twice. So that brings me on to the second part of the lick, where I'm going to slide up to the D chord and do this little lick. Alright, so a little bit of context here. When I'm using the B minor chord, I've basically got shape 1 of the pentatonic scale with those added minor notes. Alright, and that's where I'm coming from with that. When I slide up to the D chord here, this little shape is just a smaller, just a couple of notes out of this bigger shape, the bigger E-shaped bar chord. And I know when I've got this shape here that I've got shape 2 of the pentatonic scale in relation to the minor shape, shape 1, shape 2, it would be that shape, and I would have 12, 10, 12, 10, 11, 9. Here, right? Alright. So I've got those notes to play around with, and you know, a popular Hendrix double stop is this thing here. So that's where we're coming from with that. So let me just talk you through the lick now. We want to slide from 9 to 12 on the D string, 11, 10 on the 11 on the G, 10 on the B, right? So we're just arpeggiating that chord. Then I'm coming back to 12, and then I'm hammering on. I'm doing this double stop thing. So I'm grabbing the bottom two strings of the D, the high E and B. I'm hammering on my third finger to 12 on the B, and back again, right? Again, getting those bottom strings. So, like that. So, then back to 12 on the D, and then again, hammering on and then getting those two notes. I'm going to slide into that, and then the next time I play it, again 12, 11, 10, back to 12, same double stop. This time I'm going to get 12 on the G, then come into this double stop. So what I'm doing there is I'm grabbing 9 on the G with my index finger, 10 on the B with my middle finger, and then I'm hammering on to 11, just using those notes from the pentatonic scale, getting those G and B strings, and then I'm going to pull off very quickly on the G string, then I'm going to get 12 on the D string. So nice and slow, that whole thing. So let's have a look at how all of that sounds together. So again, guys, you can move that around if you like as well. So you can do it really anywhere. You can use any chord. You get B minor here, an E minor here, whatever notes on the high E string, you can just do the same thing. So I could do the same thing in E minor. Slide up to C. Alright, so it works anywhere. So mess around with that yourself. I hope that gives you another couple of ideas, a little skill, another tool to add to your tool belt. So yeah, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next lesson.